Today, we feel a shift. We feel a shift. We feel it in the air and the energy around us. A powerful energy, and it's urging us to get serious about what we want to achieve. So it is a perfect time to find clarity, focus where we've needed it most. So as we move through today, we will feel that urge to dig deep, to ask the right questions, to break down our goals, to make them into manageable, practical, doable steps forward. Okay, looking at the big picture while knowing that every small action we take right now is building the foundation. And it's building the foundation for something so much grander. The energy is pushing us. It's pushing us to think with the patience, with the practicality, to think carefully, to plan wisely, to embrace the quiet strength that comes from knowing exactly what we need to do next. I mean, okay, you know what? Pull up a chair. Join me as we embark on a journey of self-discovery. We will gain an understanding of how to embrace this energy. I'm going to dive into it all for you. By the end of our time together, it's my hope, it's my intention that you take ownership of the tools, that you now have the insight to go forward with clarity, with confidence, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you truly for being here today. Thank you for all the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. And welcome to your daily focus, May the 9th, 2025. So today we have the energy of the 9. The 9 is about completions and endings. It's about healing. It's about leaving things in the rearview mirror. But the 9 is also a time when we are being very practical and very forthcoming and very conscious of the things that we are trying to end and complete in our lives. We are in many ways making space, making room for the new beginnings, the things that are of dreams, of imagination right now, but we want to make tangible. We want to bring it into our world. We want to manifest it. We want to invite it in. So yes, we are completing, we are allowing endings, we are allowing healing into our worlds, we are allowing ourselves to leave some things in our rearview mirror. But it's with good intention of what we want to have space in our lives for going forward. Daily numerology would be a 5 plus a 9 plus a 9. That gives us a 23 energy. 18, yeah, 23. So 23... it is about having a belief in yourself, knowing that you have the capabilities, knowing that you have the knowledge, the wisdom, the accomplishments to back you up. And maybe not in where you're stepping, but definitely in the past, where you at one point were new to it. We forget that. We only see the accomplishment. But when we look back at the work and the struggle and the dedication and the commitment and the action that was involved in order to have that accomplishment, that's when we grow the belief in ourselves that we can apply that to any situation in our life. And although chances are it's not, well, it could be chaotic, like walking through fire, very overwhelming, very stressful. Or it could be that we just doubt ourselves. We don't have enough belief in ourselves and what we can do. And that usually goes back to an earlier era in our life where somebody gave us that perception that we were not well enough. Or Chiron could be in Pisces or Aries. I think Aries too. Pisces, you feel more alone, like they forgot you up there. But Chiron in Aries is usually self-doubt. So see where Chiron is in your natal chart. That's on my website, okay? You just go to the free one, and it'll just give you a little Reader's Digest. So always good to know. Also, on the very front of the page, if you're ever like going out, you're going to a meeting or something, you want to know the flavor of the hour, Okay, on my website, the page, the link's in the bottom, but on it, you scroll down to the end, and it has the chart of the moment. Okay, it's within usually an hour or two, but it'll tell you, that you'll be meetings with women will go really well, or meetings with men will go really well, or this is a time to be extra cautious, or this is a time to think before we talk, or so it gives you that little blurb. So, you might find that as a little handy tool that you can always use, absolutely free. Anyways, I'm just shameless plug for myself. Okay, 23. Did we talk about the 23? Having a belief in yourself. 2 plus 3 is a 5, and that is about creating happiness, joy, laughter, celebration in the moment. Just celebrate the moment. It was the first thing in the moment. I just heard the train go by and blow its horns, so that always makes me smile. As a childhood, something I grew up with. Around bedtime, the last thing I usually would hear was the train blowing the whistle in the background. So when I hear it, because it brought me comfort for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, 2 plus 3. So see what's happening in that moment and just celebrate that. So I just celebrated that. 2 plus 3 is a 5. And 5 is about, yeah, okay. So we've covered that. Let's jump into the astrology. Sun is in Taurus. Moon is in Libra. I don't edit either, okay? How I act and what I say is up to them. So, but I seem to be stumbling over everything right now. For some reason, I'm stumbling over the thoughts. So I'm asking for the clarity to come in. Sun is in Taurus. Moon is in Libra. And Mercury will semi-sextile Saturn today. Yeah, Mercury in Aries, yes. Mercury has been quite active this week and is having conversations and will continue to have conversations until it leaves Aries and moves into Taurus just prior to the full moon, so days away. So it's getting in all of its conversations that it needs to have with all the planets. So as we know, for anybody who's new, right, this makes us quick to think, quick to speak, quick to act. It's often a very fast-paced kind of energy, a little bit impulsive or a lot of bit impulsive. And it's all about taking action and getting things done and going towards success. Failure is not an option. Now, Saturn brings in more of that slower, steadier influence, okay? It encourages us to be patient or realistic, and to move our focus to away from the action and to the plan, to the strategy, to the to-do list. Not to say that action is not a part of it, but it's not just, fast forward action. We're actually pulling it back and making very intentional steps forward with this kind of energy. Okay, so it brings success. It helps to bring success to our short-term and our long-term goals. Absolutely. These two energies come together. They combine in such a way that they help us to stay on task and we move forward. So it's a great time to focus on our goals, our dreams, organize our thoughts, start planning in a way that makes sense for the future, that is doable, that's practical. Okay, it is about making our ideas, our thoughts, our imagination, our dreams, our potential to be laid out in a very practical and manageable way. And under this energy, we can do that quite easily. So take today to organize your thoughts. Make an action plan for whatever you may be working on. Focus on the important details, okay? The details that will help you to move forward in the way you want. So today, set a realistic goal. Okay, and maybe if you can't really think of anything, maybe you got something on the back burner. Okay, today, pull it out, look at it. Look at that idea, that thought, that inspiration you had, that passion you feel. Okay, break it down into a couple of steps that could be actually achievable. Something that we can manage right now. It might be 5 minutes a day, it might be 10 minutes a day. Maybe we have to research first. Maybe we have to get out there and network ourselves. Maybe we have to stand up for who we are. Be more authentic. Love ourselves more. Whatever it might be. Okay, it's time to take what has been primarily imagination and now start to put it into action, or at least an action plan. Okay, clear the clutter. It could be your workspace, but our to-do list, our mind, our closet, the attic, our heart, what we carry and is heavy on our heart. Focus on what needs to get done now. Get organized. Make a plan. Give yourself 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all I'm asking you to do. 24 hours. There's got to be 5 minutes where you can just sit there with a blank piece of paper and a pencil and write it out any way you want. Short form, dots, pros and cons, whatever. But write down what is important to you, where you want growth, where you want expansion, where you want more potential in a part of your life. And set down just a couple of steps, maybe one step or one step. This is what I'm going to start doing on a daily basis for 5 minutes. And if for the first week, it could be spending another 5 minutes on writing that out for yourself, putting a little bit more detail in. It could be a whole week of that. Absolutely. Why not? It's not a race. We're not being rushed here. It may feel like it, but there is a lot of time to maneuver. Okay, until we actually have that course of action. But we're not going to get that course of action unless we start trying and experimenting with different things. And Saturn gives us these practical, sound approaches if we are willing to embrace them. Okay, and we need to get careful not to get too bogged down by our routines. Yeah, we want structure, absolutely. But don't forget to stay open to any kind of new ideas that pop up, possibilities that happen, come into play. Ask yourself, what area of my life needs more structure? Because we have Saturn here. So maybe it is just our day-to-day and just making a timetable for ourselves. Whatever it is. Or better yet, what kind of structure do I need to make my dreams come to life? That would probably be the question I'd ask myself today. What area of my life do I want more structure to help my ideas come to life? This energy helps us get organized, focused, clear about what we want to do next. So it's a great time to take practical steps, to plan for the future, break down big ideas into tiny bite-sized, manageable steps. This energy helps us to slow down enough. And we only have this energy for a very short time, right? Very short time. And then it will have... anyways, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. My gosh, it's already, past the point where we should be going to the cards. So, just make sure you're moving forward with purpose and you're moving forward with clarity. Okay, let's go to the cards. My goodness. Oh, I forgot to look at the card. I always think it just as I begin the shuffle. And I'm kind of amazed at how often it does relate, so we should be paying attention. But we will look at the underlying energy of our day. And look at this, the Six of Wands. Know your accomplishments. Know your worth. Know your value. Know that you have what it takes to go forward. You are more than capable. And the possibilities are endless. So start going forward with a plan, with a strategy. Don't rest on your laurels right now. Don't kick your feet back and say good enough. This isn't a time to kick back and relax. It's a time to push ourselves forward. Even if it's we're doing something that we would prefer not to be doing, and we'd probably want to put our energy somewhere else, but we can't. So it's about motivating ourselves through intentional thought and intent. You have 5 minutes, grow your dream. Have a conversation with yourself about what you are asking to come into your world. Okay, it's just like when I wanted my F-150. Okay, I would imagine sitting in my Escape and my SUV and pretending I was in my F-150. And gosh, it felt good. I was sitting up nice and high, and I loved it. And I saw myself, driving the truck. And then as I started to think of F-150s, it looked like the universe was actually teasing me, because F-150s, everybody had an F-150. Oh my gosh, you should have saw them all. And then when I finally got mine, and that was manifested, and there's a story behind that. I won't go there right now, but yeah, I manifested that F-150. Really wild how it worked out. And it was gray. And all of a sudden, as I drove away, I realized that everybody who owns an F-150, they're gray. Why? Because I was putting that front and center. I was bringing it to my consciousness. Okay. So that's what I mean about moving forward with purpose and moving forward with clarity. Okay. See it in your mind, what you already want to have in your life. And that automatically makes your brain, it's scientifically proven. This is not, but spirit has a lot to do with helping us move forward. Absolutely. And preparing the opportunities for us. It all works as one, for goodness sakes. But the more we bring it into our conscious, the more our brain looks for that thing to be in our path, in our life. It doesn't cost anything to do. It just takes some time. Okay, I really got off the beaten path there. Somebody must have needed to hear that. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. We are in this moment of contemplation, of serious thinking, of maybe prayer, maybe internal conversations with ourselves, with our God, our maker, the universe, our higher self, the angels, and in deep thought of, and here it's almost like we've got this blank slate. We can actually put anything down we want. There's nothing but blah behind us here in this card, telling us that we can create whatever we want. There's nothing standing in our way. Oh, there might be a little dip and that, but really nothing to get in our way. No big blocks unless we allow that big block to stay remaining in the way. Okay. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Love your dreams. Don't let anybody poke holes in your dreams. Don't. Yeah. Okay, you plant that seed. You want to grow that dream into something tangible, into something real. And it's very much like a mother to a child, giving birth to that child, and then, sitting there and telling and showing the love and the care and the concern to grow that small child into a successful adult. With love and passion. And so we don't let people tear down our dreams. We don't let people poke holes into our dreams. If we know we're going to get negative from them, then we need to stop talking about our dreams to them and start getting around some like-minded people. People that will tell you, oh my gosh, it is so, you can do this. I'll help you. I'll show you the way kind of people. Hold my hand, and you will probably teach them things that they didn't know because you didn't follow the roads they did until now. This is about standing strong for who you are, what you want, your passions, your dreams, your desires, what makes you you, what makes you come alive. And the Ten of Swords. Yeah, we could feel very beaten up here. Absolutely. We've come through chaos. We've come through the fires. We've come through great sorrow and tragedy. We've also come through laughter and love. But we're depleted. We're getting close to the full moon. So we could start feeling very depleted in our energy, feeling like this. But know that sun is breaking through the clouds. Know that you are going to start feeling the warmth and seeing the brightness of the sun around you. Those swords are not in your back. They're behind you. They are your wisdom, your lessons, your knowledge, your clarity, your understanding, your strength, your courage, your belief in yourself. That's what those swords represent. And they protect you and they give you strength so that you can stand up strong and dust yourself off and prepare to go forward in brand new ways. Knowing that yesterday was yesterday, today is today, and tomorrow is yet to come. So concentrating on the moment and standing strong in that moment to go forward with the strength. Okay. Nature's Whispers, the Oracle deck. And we have Infinite Blessings, the 17. 17 is all about making the impossible possible. So, Infinite Blessings. See if I can get that up there for you guys. Good. Open your heart and your reality to the immeasurable gifts from nature. Loving energy is surrounding you. Love from the highest level is being showered onto you and your life. Count your blessings. Remember that love is all around you. Notice the miracles and the blessings as they show up in unexpected ways, always at the right time. Your life may not be exactly as you anticipated, but make sure you look for yourself. But be sure to look for your miracles. You know, it's so true. I was walking down the street one time and somebody had really upset me. And so I didn't want them to see me cry, and I was hurt. I remember being extremely hurt, and I was walking down the street, and all of a sudden, and just feeling the lowest of low, like it was a painful hurt. And all of a sudden, I had this flash go off in front of me, and it was somebody taking my picture, and then they had my picture and showed it to me. And it was, when I looked at the picture, it looked like I was freeing myself. It looked like I was powerful. It looked like, you know, my head I wasn't dragging my feet. I was walking the energy. I was channeling it away from me. That wasn't anything to do with me personally, that I already knew who I am. I'm going back to the poking holes in your dreams a little bit here. But and I turned around, and I loved the picture. I loved the picture. And I didn't think about it. By the time I thought about it, I could have probably bought the picture off of him, because I can see the picture in my mind. It was just, you know, and it showed me with so much strength, and I thought it was such a contrast. But I did say I so needed that. You know, and that was absolutely my maker, my angels, my higher self, making a situation to see my strength at a moment when I felt so low, to pick me right up and get me going again. I don't know why I shared that with you. So somebody out there, you must have needed it. So hopefully my story will tell you that you're not alone. And, you know, sometimes we need to see ourselves through somebody else's eyes, and not to, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Okay, let's get an animal. Strut your stuff with the peacock. Peacock is back. I don't think it was yesterday, but maybe the day before or the day before that. It's been recent, so peacock is back, telling us to strut our stuff. Beauty, confidence, foresight, clairvoyance. Never bend your head, always hold it high, and look the world straight in the eye. So I guess they're continuing what I just shared with you all. Peacock is completely aware of his beauty and wants you to work on believing that you too are beautiful inside and out. Peacock believes that you have lost confidence with your inner or outer appearance. Oftentimes, to regain that confidence, we have to fake it to make it, and that is when we push ourselves into a vibration which is true self. Peacock so I guess you don't need someone to take your picture. You just need to push yourself into believing in yourself, knowing that you are more than worthy, more than deserving, that you know you. You know you. You don't need anybody else's opinion. That's their opinion. That's on them. Oftentimes, to regain that confidence, you have to fake it to make it, and that is when you push yourself into a vibration which is true self. Peacock may have come into your life to show you that you're coming into a new spiritual growth path. It could be time to begin working on becoming certified in Reiki, quantum touch, taking a tarot or meditation class, yoga. If you're feeling less than beautiful, embrace Peacock and allow him to help you strut your stuff. It's a beautiful time to sit down and make a plan for what you want to step into and start figuring out how to actually step into that. What is the moment today that you utilize to move yourself forward one little tiny step. Is it getting out that blank piece of paper? Is it just giving it a title? Tomorrow you'll get back to giving it the first couple of notes after you think about it, maybe. Grow your dream right now. Expect miracles. Expect things to come with a flow. This is all beautiful energy for us. To grow, to step into our path, to step into our dreams and the possibilities of our tomorrow. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.